As the moon lit up the dark tower, the White Lady emerged from one of the moonbeams where the prison cells were located. The cells were now both empty. One was completely destroyed. The White Lady took a closer look at the damaged cell. Explosives were used from the outside. There were footprints all over, human boot footprints. She immediately knew it was Apophy's supporters. There was nothing she could do about that at the moment, even though she could track them down fast. They've run off somewhere with the president. The White Lady immediately knew that Oleander Jr. had struck a deal with the Apophis. Back on the ground, supporters of the Cicada regime started to regain their consciousness. Now back in human form, they were confused and angry. One moment they were all powerful and uniform, a step closer to a country that cannot be touched. A perfect civilization. To their eyes, Owl turning them back into humans was a big mistake, and basically an anti-nation act. But for the others that were afraid for their lives and family, they were secretly happy that they had been returned back into humans. Overwhelmed with joy, they teared up as they sat by the moonlight. This didn't sit well with the Cicada supporters. They out of nowhere started berating the others, yelling profanities and accusations that what they believed was wrong. What the country needed was for them to all come together in unity as cicadas and follow what Oleander Jr. and the chairman told them to do. The White Lady told Owl to go and hunt down the chairman, and so he did. He flew straight up into the sky without a sound. Owl and the White Lady had set up a trap. There was only one area in the entire country that would not be reached by White Lady's EMP blast. It was the bunker Philomeno, his wife, and Athena once hid in. Inside it, Owl had placed a blank M unit. He knew exactly that when the entire Philippines went dark, this cyborg body was the only container the chairman could go to. Slowly, Owl climbed down the ladder. Deep down, the chairman, now trapped inside an M unit, sat in a corner. He turned his head and looked up at the owl. His innate hubris initially wanted to sarcastically welcome Owl home. But like any sentient being, once he saw the eyes of the owl, the chairman felt intense fear for the very first time. This was compounded with the fact that, using his new ability to read the future, he realized the outcome of this encounter had an inevitable end. Operating only on intense panic, denial of the future he'd seen, and a sense of self-preservation, the chairman attacked the owl, slamming on walls and furniture inside the bunker. Reading the chairman's movements, Owl was able to dodge and withstand the cyborg body's erratic attacks. After a while, the owl flicked a compact device shaped like a coin that unraveled and formed a restrictive web around the cyborg's body. After several attempts, the chairman succumbed to the immovable fact that he was not going to win. This was the vision he'd seen after he copied Athena's abilities.
I was so sure. I would beat you.
Nobody's perfect.
I don't understand. I despise you. You're all that's wrong about humanity. This was to be my kingdom, not yours.
It isn't.
None of this matters. You can't even kill me. You won't, and I'm not technically alive.
I know, but I can show you how that feels.
The chairman almost fell out of his chair in fear as Owl, in one swift motion, held his head up from behind and sliced his neck open with a small knife. Thoughts of panic flooded the chairman's mind, now able to feel pain through the artificial receptors of the cyborg body. It felt unbearable, as if he wanted to plug the gaping wound around his neck. But Owl held him down, as if letting him pass very slowly. "So this is death," the chairman said, the very second he felt remorse for all he'd done. And that's when he blacked out. He wasn't going to die, but having gone through it, the chairman felt what it was like for all his victims. Owl tore open the M unit's scalp. With the back of his knife, he hammered it open and plucked a small chip and kept it in his pocket. Owl climbed out of the bunker carrying the broken M unit and met with Athena's mother. He told her that Athena and Philomena were safe and on their way home. He apologized for borrowing their bunker. Athena's mother had tears in her eyes but was happy. Without a sound, the owl flew up in the dark sky and returned to the city. Sneaking through the sewers, Viper Queen and her cohorts escorted Oleander Jr. to one of their lairs. Heaving, Oleander Jr. kept going on about selling properties and territories to the forces of the Viper Queen. Spit and promises kept spewing out of his mouth when suddenly the road above them was ripped off like soft clay by the White Lady.